And then Fox has it 111 to 72. So
All right, we're back live again.
Nice.
kick ass.
Let's try not to fuck it up.
Yeah, or if at least we get one picture frozen in the middle, it's preferably not anybody's butthole.
All right.
Was it going to show up like as part 3 up there?
Whoa, what map do you have? Are you building your own map over here?
Well, I was. Funny enough, since we have that,
No, let's talk about it. This is like a worst case scenario. I'm
this
guessing.
is definitely worst case scenario because this is what it looked like in 2020. So, this is probably worth just taking a little memory road trip here, right? While we're trying not to go offline again.
A fucking nightmare.
So Nevada and Arizona 17-point swing. So that puts him at 252 if everything else stayed the same. So I mean, he's got to get that PA fucking win, or he's got to win two. He's got to win Wisconsin and Michigan in order to get it.
I think you could pick up Michigan and Pennsylvania.
So let's do some what ifs. Like, I mean, I personally, again, so these were the 2020 numbers here. I think Trump lost Arizona because of the McCains.
I don't even think he lost Arizona, but yes, like I definitely agree. I mean, either way, he's not going to lose Arizona this year.
I don't think he does.
And I think he's going to win Nevada this year.
I think he's going to win Nevada too. I think the no tax on tips things really helped him out there because of how many people out there work in the service industry.
Yeah, make sure you're talking to the mic, bud.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I know it gets easy to get into like a conversation. You forget this.
The other big thing at play there is, Nevada's like lost its identity over the last 20 years because of all the Californians that have moved there and took their voting with them. That's like one of those things. I can use the hard R in that statement because I used to be a Californian myself, by the way. But yeah, so, we can do some what ifs there, right? So let's say everything went exactly the same, but Trump wins Nevada and Arizona, and they're calling these swing states. But so that puts the vote. I mean, that's still a win for the Dems, right? So we got to look at some other like what ifs there.
Let's just say Michigan and Georgia go red.
Yeah,
that puts you over.
So right? I think Georgia's
going to go red.
I think that one's pretty certain. Like that one was really narrow the last time. There was some election fuckery there. I mean, everybody saw the videos of they found ballot boxes underneath tables and all that shit. But
shit show.
Yeah. So let's say that goes red. I mean, as you can see, that's a narrow victory for the Dems.
I'm throwing Pennsylvania. I think we're going to get Pennsylvania.
Well, Pennsylvania, all day long, Pennsylvania, in my mind, is going to be the deciding factor because if you look at some of the other blue, so out in the West, there's no way that Washington, Oregon, or California go red. So those aren't in play. Colorado, New Mexico, same thing. Those are not in play. Really, Wisconsin, Michigan, or PA are what decides it. And so because any of those, that flips the script. Right now, I think Wisconsin is leading blue, but any of those could really win it and flip those numbers the other way around, because it's very close.
Where did Biden fall in at for Illinois?
He won Illinois. That's still last year's.
But what was the final? Because they're calling it right now for Kamala. 9% reporting, and they're calling it with a 70,000 point swing, 70,000 vote swing.
Yeah,
that's silly.
It's Illinois.
I mean, I get it, but I get that point. Like, but go ahead. Like, what was the final on that one? Can you see that?
I don't for right now. For where we're at live or
before.
That I don't have. I just have it. It was Biden won Illinois and Obama won it. Everybody won it.
So right now they're calling Vermont, which is Jesus. People in Vermont are idiots. I mean, it's only 3 electoral votes. Thank God they don't care about you that much. But 66% voted for Kamala Harris.
I'm surprised we didn't see Trump in New Hampshire even a little bit more because of the way the Dems switched around the New Hampshire primaries and stuff.
Well, wasn't Vance in New Hampshire yesterday?
Was he?
Yeah, I think Vance went either yesterday or the day before.
I don't think it was yesterday because I think he was Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania yesterday.
But I think you're right. I think he was there a few days ago.
Vermont is a 66 to 30 point swing, right? And that's with 150,000 votes in. I mean, it's 44% of their votes. And here's the thing, like, it's not Jesus, Massachusetts, only 2% reporting, but 75-25 almost. 74-22. What is going on with the people out there? Like, you guys are just brain dead. I swear to God. Like, do you not pay attention to what's going on? How do you hate a guy so much that you're willing to give up free speech? Like, you're willing to vote for someone who, because at this point in time, you look at Twitter as crazy, but they use the words misinformation, and we should edit, like, basically keep people from being able to speak misinformation, which up until this point in my life, misinformation was like you were just talking out your ass, and sometimes you were right, sometimes you were wrong, but that led everybody else to question it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you thought somebody was talking out their ass, like, you could go research it. Now we just shut them up, even though they might be right. You don't even give them a chance.
That was proven in 2020 with COVID and everything else. Think about how many people got deplatformed, demonetized, and everything else for saying, "Oh, it may have came from this lab in Wuhan," and then next thing you know, everything is canceled. They have no voice.
Well, and that's the problem. Like, and people are voting for that. Like, I don't understand how they could think differently. Lester, thanks for the ice, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for replacing the ice you dumped on the floor earlier.
I just don't. It baffles my mind, and I have people locally here that are diehard Kamala fans, and it just boggles my mind. Their whole thing is, and it's funny because never do they ever say, "I'm voting for Kamala because I want a safer community. I want to make more money. I want people to have a better life." No, all they say is, "I'm not voting for a felon and a rapist," or whatever nonsense that they fucking repeat from their fucking CBS and
term on term Nazi.
Yeah, like, fucking crazy. Like, first of all, rapists and Nazis are two of the most, like this are two of the worst things you could be called. And racist, Nazi, rapist. Can't get much fucking wronger than that, right? Like, and when you call a guy like Donald Trump any of those three things, you're basically watering down everything that those words stand for. Like, Nazis, they killed fucking millions and millions of fucking people. You're comparing Donald Trump to that. Who has he fucking killed?
Nobody.
You know what I mean? Like, it just baffles my mind that the news can use propaganda like that. And then people are like, yeah, he's a racist. He's a Nazi. He's this, he's that. And it's like, the dude is only fucking trying to make our country better. Like, every time he's speaking, it's like, we want to make a country better. We want to make better jobs. We want to give people more money. We want to stop overtaxing you. We want to do this. All the other party ever says is,
I come from a middle-class family,
and I don't want you to vote for Donald Trump because he's going to take your birthrights away. He's going to make you. I saw a thing on The View where Whoopi Goldberg was saying he's going to make biracial marriages split up, and he's going to give you a white woman. I was like, bro, do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
I mean, The View's trash anyway.
I know, but it's just the fact that, like, that was like something that somebody was actually capable of saying, and it's like, this whole fucking thing is bought. All the celebrities that have been over there and asking for her vote, they're just hoping that Donald Trump don't win because they don't want their Diddy parties to get released.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
100%.
Well, at a Diddy party, we don't take anything out of your mouth.
It all goes in your mouth.
So, here's one of my feelings about this as the resident politics nerd of the group is that, hey, fucking finally, politics is no longer boring. Like, if you go back to, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, GW Bush, and then you get, we had Obama for 8 years there, but like, at least, politics now is entertaining at best, like, because that's the only way you're going to get people to vote or get, you have to turn people into activists. So all of these things they have an entertainment value. Not saying they're entertaining, but meaning you can put them on television as entertainment, and that's going to attract people into them. So the only good news out of any of all of this bullshit on either side is that it's making people pay attention to it. More people are voting now.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I grew up, I was 12 years old listening to Rush Limbaugh with my dad in the car.
I'm so sorry.
So I've been, hey, you,
Actually, I listened to Mike Trevisano before he was a political fucking nine.
no, I listened to Triv too back in the day. But yeah, it was Rush Limbaugh, and then it was like Michael Savage, Michael Medved, and all these other guys. So I grew up loving politics, and it was always interesting to me. And it is good to see people are finally paying attention. But the problem is
Enough.
they're paying attention to literal fake news,
Sound bites.
sound bites,
Yeah.
clips made to make the other person look bad. You know, like the whole like very fine people on both sides, and oh, they're all losers, and they're not listening to the full story because our left-wing media establishment is giving half the story, and they're twisting it to make us look bad and make Trump look bad. And these idiots don't take the 23 seconds it takes to look up a full clip and watch it. So
Yep.
we're people are more engaged, but they're still not doing the research. They're still not going out and finding the truth.
Well, and what does it take? Right? Like, what is it going to take? We just had 4 years of really a terrible economy. We had 4 years of people being silenced, people being locked down. Like, thank God Elon Musk bought Twitter.
It's the
I
greatest
mean,
thing happened in
really.
this country.
Because it's the one spot where you can go, and it's crazy because now we have like Twitter, and then we have like ABC, NBC, CBS, everything else, right? Like even Fox News. Frankly, it's anything that's news in that sense. Like those channels are all just propaganda arms. But like without that, like where would you get data? You'd be force fed. Like at the point where 2020 and 2021 was, Twitter and Facebook were both in cahoots with our U.S. government. It was owned by the same people.
Still are.
Owned by the same fucking lady who's trying to run now, right? And they told everybody to stay home. They told everybody to get a shot. They told everybody to get boosters. They told everybody you couldn't go outside, you couldn't see your family, and everybody fucking listened. And what happened? Our economy was a disaster. Then they tried to buy their way out of it by giving people hundreds of dollars at a time while they jammed all kinds of other crap into those bills.
I spent that money on guns.
Well, it's not even about the money they gave you. For every $600 they gave an American citizen, they gave $800 to a defense contract or to some other bullshit budget that ended up padding their pockets, right? So they did nothing good for us. So what do we have today to show for it? Groceries. Look, I'll be the first to. Groceries are high as fuck compared to what they were. I don't care who you are.
100%.
My wife and I, just the food that we spend, we easily spend an extra $200 to $300 just for the two of us on a monthly basis. You know, it's silly things too that people don't talk about, but like it wasn't that long ago where you can go to a fast food restaurant and get like a quarter pounder of a cheese combo meal for $6, maybe $6.85.
That's $10 plus now, right?
Easy
That's-
$10.
yeah.
And a lot of times too, you know, some of those restaurants kind of trim around the edges to, you know, save a buck or two.
Well, you look at like Chipotle too.
Don't say shrinkflation. I can't. Don't say it.
Shrinkflation.
Stupid.
You look at Chipotle though. I remember. So let's see, 2017 was the last time I remember looking at the price for a Chipotle burrito, and at first steak it was like $6.45.
I remember it was.
It's over
$45.
$10 now.
Yeah.
It's like $11 to get anything, a steak burrito or steak. What's it called? You know, so when you bring all these things to fact, and then you look at gas prices. I mean, this is the first year that I can remember before an election that gas prices didn't like drop down by like $1 leading up to the election. Like I feel like they did for like a week, and everyone's like, "What happened to the gas prices? They shot down." Oh, the election's coming up, and then like they raised them back up.
Put it right back up.
You know, and it's funny because you look at these Democratic supporters, right? A lot of them are in inner cities where you cannot tell me that it's safer to live in New York than it was 4 years ago. You can't tell me that the opportunities are better in New York as they were 4 years ago. Like those who do, like, congrats, you got it that fucking good that you can walk down the street. I dare you to get on a fucking subway, right? I dare you to walk down the street in the middle of the night with your 4-pound Pomeranian and fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
No, use it. Someone's gonna kick it like a football.
it's just crazy. Like to think that we in the last 4 years I've seen videos of people being raped in fucking public, drugs being like These are things that aren't even like
There's-
conscionable to me.
and,
Like the fact that this is even happening in our country is mind-boggling.
And you like, there's a lot of people, go out to like say Pennsylvania or like California, and you just see how dirty and like all the homeless are living. It's sad, and
So just to contrast that, in 2020, I worked security for the Trump campaign, and one of our events was in Philly. Well, the outskirts of Philly. So we all went into Philadelphia to get a Philly cheesesteak because we want to try a Philly cheesesteak from Philly. So it's in the hood. I mean, we passed the Rocky Steps, we passed, Canada Hall, all that kind of stuff, and we went there, and it was kind of shitty,
yeah,
but it wasn't that bad. 2 years later, I go because my buddy has an event out there. He wanted somebody to ride with him. We went to the same place. Holy shit! Like we were like strapped to the max, worried about getting mugged. He was like telling his wife, he's like, stay close to me, all this other stuff. There was the dudes like dancing on the streets, selling drugs on the street corner, homeless people everywhere in just 2 years. I can't imagine what it's like now, 2 years later, because it's getting progressively worse. I mean, you can see it. Any large city you go to, you'll see more of it. I went to Springfield.
Yeah, babe, you can make that pizza.
She's like pointing.
And might as well make them both. We're hungry. It's gonna be a long night. It's only 8:54. This is definitely going till midnight. This is definitely going till midnight.
So I went to
Babe, seriously. Yes. Two's fine. Babe, just make both fucking pizzas. Oh, all right. Well, then make two.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, love.
Here we go.
What is going on right now?
Podcast here.
Jeez, oh man.
professionalism.
The lack of professionalism
Sorry, I'm making
in our studio right now. Nobody wants mac and cheese. Well, let's get my mac.
Well, they know mac and cheese.
All right. Love you.
So I went to Springfield 3 weeks ago, and I
How's the
talked
cat?
I talked to 4 people. I asked about the cats and dogs. Nobody could confirm the cats and dogs, but every single person said that they don't feel comfortable with their wives going into Walmarts because they're getting harassed by people that don't speak our language. And the one guy was like, I can't confirm the cats and the dogs, but it wouldn't surprise me. We found some duck feathers
Yeah, I mean, there's like
in the park.
there's like
Yeah.
a video or a picture of some
Yeah,
dude
and
just carrying
again,
a goose by the head neck.
I don't want to say it's true because I can't confirm it.
No,
But the fact is, the people there are suffering. I drove into the hood area, and it's bad. It looks like the streets of Chicago. Okay, and then on top of that, like I said, these guys, they don't feel comfortable with their wives going to Walmart alone now. And that's what we've done. We've imported the third world, and it's going to make us into the third world. You see it in every single large city in America, and it's getting progressively worse every single day. That's why I can't understand. Yeah, you might see the news and you follow your leftist media, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, but you can see it yourself. Why can't you just say, you know what?
because a lot of them don't care.
Fuck, I was wrong. It was better 4 years ago. I remember traveling all over the country, paying $1.89 for gas, and now I'm paying $3 something.
Hey, real quick, not to interrupt you. Go ahead and pull up that updated electoral map. Some changes are happening right now, guys. These are some big fucking changes too. Still early, but if you look at Virginia, right now, 45% of the votes are in, and Trump has got almost a 1-point advantage over Kamala. That is enormous. It is early.
Virginia could happen.
It's early. A lot's going to change in that state, I'm sure. But the fact that, right now we're talking about a neck and neck race in Virginia is huge. North Carolina, only 25% reporting, but Trump's holding a 10-point lead over there. And right now and I'm really interested in this Georgia, they're at 63% reporting right now, and Trump's got a 5-point lead in Virginia in Georgia. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, and Ohio is finally coming together. We're at 45% reporting with a 5-point swing. What you got, David?
I was saying if you jump over to the video feed.
Yeah, jump
Yeah. I was trying to track along as you were
Yeah,
talking there.
Sorry,
So yeah,
everybody, we're not really set up that well tonight, but yeah. So let's start with Virginia. Were you are you
Yep.
still showing them at 49.7 to 48.6?
Yep, pretty close to that. This is what we're looking at. CNN's reporting right now, so they're having a heart attack over there right now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about it. Does Virginia and does that change the whole race? I mean, not that it's gonna stay red, but if it stayed red, like what are we thinking is gonna happen the rest of the night?
Yeah, well, Virginia is 13 points. I mean, that could certainly, yeah, it could certainly change things.
Well, it's done a really good job out there.
I'm really surprised. PA is still I mean, it's early, 14% reporting. I'm kind of surprised though. 14%, and we know early ballots were a big thing out there, but the last that I had checked, early ballots, Republicans were actually up while Dems were down by almost 500,000 votes in early voting. So the fact that they're still pulling a lead out there, that makes me a little nervous. And obviously I'm not a political pundit, but
We are tonight.
yeah, we're something tonight, that's for sure.
It's still pretty early with it's just early in the night. Like even right now, Kansas is showing blue,
Yeah,
but it's
they got
29%.
Yeah, it's actually surprising it's 29%. But yeah, I mean, really surprised.
That's kind of the trend, though. The bigger cities have got a little bit more infrastructure in place to get votes to the ballot boxes, or the ballot boxes into the voting centers.
Is it too early
quicker.
to concern ourselves with the fact that Trump's got a significant lead though in the popular vote?
I mean, I'm not concerned. I'm excited about it.
I mean, we're talking a 7-point swing in the popular vote, 8-point
Now,
swing.
You think he could win the popular vote? in
No,
New York
never,
College?
never, because you don't have New York reporting right now. You don't have California reporting. But I don't remember where it stood. I wish I could see where it stood at this point last year, because I feel like Trump was winning the popular vote early last year as
I think
well.
he was.
You got a lot of southern states in that category that kind of make an impact on that real quick.
Well, I mean, Trump did a lot of campaigning in New York too, so that could affect the popular vote. Because he
It
did,
could.
he was, it was unprecedented that he went to New York City and actually did rallies and campaigns. I think the last person to do that was Reagan.
Yeah, but I mean that's also where he's from. I mean, this is
He didn't do it. He didn't do it in 2016 or 2020.
He didn't campaign in either.
No, not in New York City.
That's surprising.
So it looks like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming have all been called for Trump.
Would you not?
Oh, what are you looking at? I don't have any of that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all expected though.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are both.
Let's pull that map back up.
Yeah, so that's both Fox and CNN are calling them, and then now Fox has got Kansas, and so right now Fox is calling 111 to 85.
So she
But-
picked something up. What does she pick up?
CNN is there's Fox has been reporting, so she's got Colorado, Illinois, and then Fox is calling New York for Kamala.
I'm interested to see if it did change anything in New York. To be honest with you, I know he's not going to win the state, but I want to see how the margins are different from 2020 to now.
Yeah, I think
that made a difference.
so.
What do you have it on now? What's
Right now this is CNN's reporting.
so CNN's showing it at one. Wait, what does it show for?
Sorry,
Kamala?
it was it's 154 to 27. Well, so they're not showing
not
the
ready to call
final.
some of these early ones.
Yeah.
They're not calling any of the northeastern states. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really early to
So
call.
New York is kind of interesting, like California is, in that the voting numbers are, in this case, New York City and greater New York City, and similar to California, where the numbers are all coming from Los Angeles and San Francisco or the Bay Area. So when if you blow up, if we were really cool, I would do that, but we're not that cool yet. Next election will be cool. totally cool. But no, if you blow up and you look at the map, you'll see that, you'll see blue dots. You'll see a big blue dot like directly over Manhattan, New York City, and then the rest of it's red, right? So it's and we see that in Ohio here too. Like we'll see Cleveland is blue,
Yeah, actually,
Cincinnati
if you
is blue.
click on that map, and I can blow it up. Like if you click on it, it'll actually give you the county breakdown. I believe. Yeah. So if you look at Ohio right there, major cities, which is guys. For you people living in major cities, obviously the polls are closed now, especially in Ohio. But what on earth has gotten better in your life in the last 4 years that you are ready for another 4 years of this? Please tell me what is possibly better. Like, and this is the problem.
I can't do another.
Do I agree with everything that fucking Trump says? No, 100% don't. Right. But I'll take 80% of Trump. Right.
Well,
I won't take 20% of Kamala Harris, let alone 80%.
I wouldn't take one.
Well, Ronald Reagan said, "My 80% friend isn't my 20% enemy." So
Right? Yeah, 100% right.
I'd rather unite with somebody that I agree with on most things, and then we can have discussions about things we disagree on.
Look,
same as like Robert F. Kennedy is a perfect example of that. Like, I don't agree with that dude on much, but I really do agree with him on free speech.
I agree with. I mean,
agree with him
Kennedy.
on health.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Health-
I
health's like
agree
the-
with a lot of stuff that
Health
Kennedy
is
has
like
to say.
the,
I don't believe him.
important thing too.
Like, I was looking at the local elections too, and you had Dennis Kucinich running against he was running against.
I mean, I'll tell you
Matt
this
Miller.
though: if Kennedy had gotten a chance at a primary against Kamala, he would 100% be the Democratic nominee.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would. And here's the thing: he probably would have won.
She fucked up because here's the thing: she should have reached out to him with the olive branch and made him her running mate, and this wouldn't even be a discussion right now. This election would be over. I guarantee it.
I don't know though, because I see. I don't think that he would have joined that party. I don't think he wants to be a part of it. They treated him like shit during that process of.
I think if they
of
would have given him
trying to-
some like I said, an olive branch, said, "Hey, you know what? We'll do some of the things you want to do with healthcare."
One weekend he'd be like, "This bitch is not
Oh,
saying
yeah, I'm
she
not
has got to
saying-
go." I fucking the 25th. I plead the 25th Amendment. She got to go. Wait, 25th or 26th?
25th. I plead the 25th. I love it. It's like pleading the fifth, but
Yeah, except it's guys.
Yeah.
Please, somebody, Lord help me, Jesus, get this lady out of here. All right, so where are we at, David?
so it looks like CNN's calling 154 Trump, 27 for Kamala. Not looking too great for her, but there's still a
lot to
lot of
go.
counting going on here. I do like that Virginia right now. I mean, they have half the vote in, but yeah, Trump's got he's got like a half a point margin there right now. But
How's PA looking?
PA is still leaning in Kamala's direction here, but they've got 16% in right now, so they're still they still got a lot.
What's the difference between the two?
So she's got a considerable, almost a 30-point lead right now.
I really hope those rural counties turned out because you can't. Okay, there you go. Wow.
Well, you got Scranton right there because Scranton Joe,
Joe.
but Pittsburgh. So
Fuck you, Pennsylvania. I hate the Steelers and I hate you if you will. Jesus.
yeah, Philly.
Penn State would be part of the P. Diddy party, right?
100%.
Oh,
Right.
100%. That might be worse than Diddy, actually.
P. Diddlers out there. Yeah.
Can you pull up
The P. Diddler.
here?
That'll be my next Halloween costume, the diddler.
Too late. I already did it.
Oh,
The diddling or the costume?
Just
both.
I did a little bit of both. I had I think we went through 3 gallons worth of baby oil.
Oh, 50-gallon drum. He's
Yeah.
I wonder what Louder with Crowder's saying today.
You guys watch the PVD podcast at all?
I do.
I wonder what
It's-
they're doing right now because they had a
They're
big-
doing this. They're absolutely doing
Oh, I know
this.
they are, but I wonder what it looks.
Not as big as us. They probably
Yeah.
don't have one viewer.
I mean-
Thanks,
Yep.
Dean. Dean's sticking around all night.
Dean's
folks.
with us still. That's
Patrick
good.
Bet David is the shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Californian, by the way. Well, he's an Iranian originally, but
Dean,
California guy.
So I got a question for you. Being you're from California, I know how left LA is and everything
Yeah.
else. How
Yeah.
are the people in the rural areas? Are they just kind of like Ohio, like
Very,
or
very much. So I
very
get asked this.
conservative and
I get asked this question a lot, and so we're getting to know each other here today, a little bit. But so what's funny is my folks were polar opposite. My mother and my
we're not
father.
getting to know each other in biblical terms, by the way.
No, not yet. I mean, not ever. I mean,
Don't lie, you want it.
cameras off, audio, no names. Listen, so what's important here is that sounds like a politician, right? As soon as you start talking about the uncomfortable stuff. Okay, what I think is important is that I was raised in a middle-class family. And what was the question? That's the whole point, right? Yeah, no, so back to your question. So born and raised in Los Angeles area, and Carter was the president at the time, but or I'm sorry, Ford was the president when I was born. I'm really old.
Damn, you're old.
And but in our first politics podcast, we talked about what got me hooked, and it was the Carter and Reagan election.
Okay.
And so I'm that old. We'll go with that. But anyway, LA at the time was, during that entire time coming out of Carter the state was very red. So Reagan would have been the governor during this time, and then eventually, joined the presidential race, and then won in 80, and the rest is history. But so during that time, you didn't have what you had today, and you didn't have anywhere near like the homeless problem or any of that nonsense. But fast forward to present day right now, if you get onto an airplane and you land at LAX, you will be immediately confronted with the liberal population of California that you would expect. You would find the homeless people, you'd find all of that nonsense. As soon as you get about 35 minutes east of Los Angeles, you land in Orange County. Orange County is super conservative. It's an immediate red wall around Orange County. And then you get into where I spent most of my adult life, which is Riverside County. Riverside County is, we could look up the stats if it's that important, but I'm just going to shoot from the hip and say 50% Latino have gone there. And these are all legal immigrants. Now, I'm sure, there's illegals all over California as well. There's a number of them, but predominantly it's a 50 some odd percent. The Caucasians are the minority in this area. It's a red county. There's no Kamala supporters out there. If there are, they're lost. So the neighborhood where my father and my brothers live to this day, so that county is solid red. So again, you go and you look at it on the map, and we'll be able to do that a little later with this map after the polls are closed. If we're still standing or sitting here at 11:30 in the evening tonight, you'll be able to see the stats out in California are rather interesting. So you'll see Los Angeles County will be blue. It won't even be close.
No.
Every county surrounding it, Los Angeles County, and then north of that you have Ventura County, Santa Barbara County. Santa Barbara likely will go red, but there's enough population in LA County that the other counties doesn't matter. And then you get into the Bay Area, it's very much the same. You have all of the counties throughout, the North and the South Bay will go blue, and then everything outside of that will be red. So both Northern and Southern California have this same phenomenon going on, that inside the major cities, super liberal, super liberal.
Oh yeah.
And then you get outside where you have the working class. Believe it or not, there's farms and ranches to this day in California. There's massive ones out there. And he's awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
Crowder. I follow his pod as well.
Definitely. I used to be a member of Mug Club.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But Loud Earth Crowder, you're in the studio with us. You should feel blessed.
Yeah. You're welcome, buddy.
Because I've wanted to visit California. Never been there. Never made it out there.
Same.
But I have this issue where I don't want to go into a state that doesn't allow me to carry a gun to protect myself. Especially now with this crime ridden as a lot of these liberal meccas have become.
Yep.
I don't want to go there, man.
Yeah.
Like if you can't respect my right to protect myself, then why should I bring my broke ass money into your state?
Yeah.
Gas money.
So
I mean, California is really not a bad place. I grew up in Southern California. Actually, I grew up in a really shitty aspect of a shitty place. Was born in Orange County.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, born in Orange County, born at the San Bernardino Hospital, lived in Orange County, I should say.
Welcome to Ohio.
And then I lived in Sperry and Victorville. My grandma had a property in Victorville, right behind the Victorville DMV. And then, which we had 5 acres in California, which is crazy, but it was filled with tumbleweeds. Like, you want to talk about hard work? My 80-year-old grandma would go out there and dig holes that you could fill 20 bodies in and put tumbleweeds in them. I look at it now and I'm like, yeah, she was badass, but what were you doing?
that's $1 million property now, though.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I got a friend that's from Ojai.
Ojai.
Oh, hi.
A lot of farming out there. It's Ventura County.
Yeah.
She talks
Beautiful
about how
area.
Beautiful it is all the time.
That's where that's not Tom Selleck used to have property there, but
He's a fucking badass, by the way.
he's legit. But what's his face? Channing Tatum. That's where his ranch is in Ojai. So big. That's that area. You couldn't decide. Oh, I'd like to move to Ojai. Like that. That just wouldn't happen because that's one of those areas where when people land there, unless they die and don't have anybody to will their property to, nothing ever goes for sale up there. Like it's one of those places. Like, yeah, that. Going back to the gun thing, so I'll give California just a little bit of credit in that.
Hey guys, when you guys are having a conversation over there, nobody can hear anything.
I'm just listening.
Sorry, I'm just saying, it's
Two podcasts all of a sudden here.
Yeah.
We're split.
This is the professional side.
What's so valuable over there? What
Yeah, let's
information
switch
you
to your guys'
got?
convo. What's going on over here?
You guys, let's just listen to what he was telling me.
Well, what was he telling
We
you?
brought something up about Channing Tatum having a ranch out there, and then
Here we go with the Brokeback Mountain conversation now.
Was Channing Tatum in Brokeback Mountain?
No, they wish he was.
no.
Channing Tatum was a good-looking dude. I'm just gonna say that.
Yes, he's a little short, but
Oh,
I mean,
I'm not gay,
He
but
was-
if I was, I'd be trying to score Channing Tatum.
He
That'd
was
be-
great in
for sure.
Deadpool.
he was in
Oh
Deadpool.
yeah, wait, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he Gambit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna dress up as Gambit now? Back to the.
Actually, yeah.
We just came full circle. We just came full circle.
Oh shit!
They're actually
So-
working on a Gambit costume.
So
Wait, hold on a second. Who's working on this costume?
His boyfriend.
No. My buddy Adam and Bobby.
So
they
they're
do 3D printing and shit, and they got all fucking.
all right. Well, let's take a break. The elections got a little bit slow. It's a little slow. So, what do you do with cosplay? When do you play this cosplay? Because you're a thirsty cowboy dancing and line dancing
This
4
is
nights
at
a week.
random times we do photo shoots and shit.
Where are these pictures?
He
They're
showed
on
me
Facebook.
one. It's real.
On your Facebook page?
On the Outsiders cosplay page.
Outsiders
Outsiders
cosplay.
Cosplay.
Let's
Now
give
you gotta
that a
look
shout
it up.
out,
You gotta look it up
everybody.
now.
I'm
Go
gonna
look
it
up
right
Lester
now.
cosplaying in the Outsiders. I love it. I love it. Cosplay, cool shit, man. I couldn't do it. Well, I could, but I had to be able to take everything back to Amazon when I was done.
That's your thing right there.
Oh,
No, but we
shit.
actually do charity events and stuff too.
I didn't know this about you, man. This is new
Yeah.
information. So here
Same.
in the Guys Night podcast, we just learned
You're
something
hearing
here.
it first.
Roll on back.
Wow.
I'm gonna follow the Outsider cosplay.
You should and
I am.
share updates as well.
Holy shit! They got 20K likes.
See?
Wow,
All
dude,
right.
you guys
Wow.
are famous, bro.
We've actually met celebrities too that play we met was it Dean Cain that did Superman?
Wow.
Dean Cain is super conservative.
All right, Harvey,
Yes.
let's get an update. Let's see. 177.99 is what I'm seeing on Google right now.
Fox has it at a 195 Trump, 113.
Who are they calling? I got North Dakota, South Dakota, and New England.
Throw the
Somebody
tea in the
drunk
hot.
already.
For the viewers to see. All right, so it's North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, and then I got Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indy, and Ohio, and West Virginia. Am I missing somebody? I must
He's
be.
gonna take Iowa, Missouri, Kansas. Those are he's gonna take those.
As funny as I heard a poll earlier
Yeah.
today that Iowa was in play for the first
Yeah, I saw
time
that too.
ever.
Since 1976.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bullshit poll.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's anything's possible.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it is possible. Look at Virginia.
Georgia is up to 69% reporting right now. Still Trump with a significant lead. I mean, that's insane. A 7-point lead in Georgia. I
Well,
don't think
let's talk about
did
the-
anybody predict anything like that? I can't imagine.
Well, let's talk about the Republican ground game. I mean, look at all the you could probably pull up the stats for how many voters we've added in the last few years too.
Yeah.
He's done a
Five
really good job.
Well,
5 points in North Carolina with 42% in. Still got that 1-point lead in Virginia, 52% reporting. God, that is big.
yeah.
I would love to hear CNN's take on this right now. I'd imagine they're in a bit of a panic on that Virginia one because
I don't think he'll take it. I think it was in play, but the fact that it's this close,
Yeah.
this late, it means something, and,
Well-
and it gives me hope for the rest of the election. You know what I mean? It gives me hope for Pennsylvania, for Michigan.
so got a 6-point swing in the popular vote.
Well, so right now, Wisconsin's kind of coming to life, but I mean, there's only 3% in, but it is with Trump with a 13-point advantage.
It changed at 2%. He had a 20%, 30, almost a 24% advantage.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's
that's early.
way early. Minnesota's 1%. Trump's leading in Minnesota. We know he's not going to win.
Mm.
If Trump wins Minnesota, this is over.
It's
over.
yeah, that I think that's impossible.
It's
but
100% impossible. Those people are not that intelligent up there.
Yeah.
It's too cold. Their brains freezing.
it's yeah.
Miserable.
I will tell you, my first presidential rally into 2020 was in Wisconsin, and the amount of people that showed up to see Trump, it was like 35, 40,000. I think it was in La Crosse.
Hmm.
It was amazing. And then a few weeks later, probably 2 weeks later, we did an event in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We're on an airstrip for Don Jr. And it's snowing. And this is October. It's like a fucking snowstorm in October. Airstrip. We have 3,000 or 4,000 people show up just to see Don Jr. on an airstrip. So that's why to this day I still think 2020 was rigged. I don't think I think some fuck shit went on, because the shit that I've seen traveling with the campaign, you can't replicate that. You can't fake that.
No.
So I still to this day can't see how he lost.
Well, there's a lot of stupid people in our country.
Yeah.
Half of them are here illegally.
Some are in this room.
Me? No.
Sorry. I looked
Oh,
at you, man.
yep,
Wow. That was burn.
got him. So,
I've been watching a lot of Tony Hinchcliffe lately. So
oh boy, yeah,
Yeah, Tony
So
Tony
it's
might
like-
have fucking cost us fucking 20,000
That-
votes.
yeah, that is. I love Tony, but Jesus Christ,
Right.
man,
yeah,
like
not the right time to
not
say it. And I
even-
know everybody came out in his defense, and I know
you do
that,
not
like,
pick a roast comedian for a political campaign.
No.
That was the dumbest move. And you know what I think it is? The Trump campaign was so focused on getting the male vote, and they know how popular Kill Tony is with us.
yeah,
So they were like, "Oh, let's just book this fucking guy,"
yeah,
you know. And they didn't think of what he's gonna say,
yeah,
because dude, he's fucking hilarious, man.
yeah.
And I love offensive comedy. I don't think there's anything I love more than offensive.
Yeah, of
comedy,
course, yeah,
but wrong place, wrong time.
yeah.
how funny is it when Rogan was asked about it. And Rogan's like, God, I told him not to do that fucking joke.
Yep.
He's like, that's a joke.
Yep.
To get him stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I
yeah.
saw that. Yeah, that was
Oh,
not a
shit.
good selection.
And I will tell you, the most formidable and amazing relationship I was ever in my entire life was with a Puerto Rican woman. You don't talk shit about Puerto Rico. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they can.
Sure. Yeah.
I could when I was with her. I can't now, but yeah, it was. You just don't do it. There's a lot of pride in that community, and rightfully
yeah.
so. They're so family oriented. They actually love this country, and they're very traditional with their beliefs and their values. But one thing I learned in that relationship is they can talk shit about each other than the family, but if you talk shit about anybody in the family, they will fuck you up.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how it should be, kind of in general.
It is, and I would tell you, man, most amazing community I've ever been a part of in my life was in that relationship, and just when they had a family get together, it was the whole block, and everybody loved each other. They put family differences aside, and but yeah, you don't make that joke at a political campaign.
Wisconsin now up to 5% voting. 5% of the vote is in. Let's just stop it there. You know what?
Yeah.
Just stop it there.
We're good.
Where did Ohio turn though? Let's see. Is that a 10-point fucking swing? A 9-point swing for Ohio?
Yep. 10.
Really? It's crazy to think like the number 300,000, which is how many votes he won by, doesn't seem like a lot of people.
Right. Right.
It doesn't, like when you think about it in general, that's like Cleveland.
Yeah. That's less than Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. Trump wins. JD Vance is obviously vice president. You think Vivek is going to take his seat? That's what I've heard.
Well,
I think he heard you say he was going to run for it, maybe.
Well, he get appointed to it.
Yeah.
Not
So
governor,
the
right?
governor chooses, the governor appoints a replacement until they can hold a special election. If
Right.
they choose to do that, he can appoint somebody to be in the seat until the position would be elected. But usually what they'll do is then conduct a special election. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think Vivek, I think he's taken a cabinet position somewhere in the organization. I think he's fallen in line just like everybody else who's.
I heard rumors that Vivek will also run for governor when DeWine is done. Because I could see it.
Could be. Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
Vivek.
But here's the thing: if he's awesome. But if there's a chance for him to be in Trump's cabinet, like that's where I want him.
Yeah.
Like personally, that's where I want him.
Yeah, so you go for you're in the presidential race so that you're building an audience behind you, and then anything else after that is a downgrade in my mind.
Well, it's not even a downgrade. It's the fact that look, we can say what we want, but Trump chose fucking terrible people to be in his fucking cabinet before.
Yeah.
I think he'll choose. I think Tulsi Gabbard's got a definite cabinet appointment.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think Secretary of State would be good for her.
Yeah, it'd be a good one. Yeah,
Um,
she's a rock star for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I got a crush on her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's hard not to
get a line.
I would marry her, but she's married.
Yeah.
So,
Tulsi, if you're watching,
Side piece.
If you're
Well,
one of the-
she's watching. She's been following my Facebook live
yeah, I was
stream
gonna
over
say,
there.
she's
Like,
actually one of
Tulsi,
two
I love you.
viewers.
yeah.
She's one
Love
of
you.
two viewers on the live stream. Hey, for those watching David's live stream, join the YouTube live stream and like and comment and subscribe.
Yes. Oh, we just got another comment right after you said that. I can't read it from here because
it's Tulsi.
it probably
Is
does.
it Tulsi?
It's probably Tulsi.
Gabbard,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
She's probably like, oh, look at these guys. They want me.
Fuck them. Take me.
It just says John Goers.
That's yeah.
Yay, another viewer.
It's the next governor of Ohio.
Yeah, could be. Actually,
Dude, I
he's a
swear
really
to God,
nice
I
guy.
just watched Trump go from 177 to 178, but it might be the fucking whiskey talking.
By the way, that's
I don't
good.
think,
That's some good
I don't think
whiskey,
you're
man.
picking up one fucking electoral vote anywhere.
Well, so Fox has him at 195 right now.
195. Good for you, Fox. Who are they calling? Are they calling Virginia?
They have not.
So North Carolina.
Yeah, they've called. They haven't called North Carolina. They called South Carolina. They haven't
Yeah.
called. They have not called Georgia yet either.
So
So
I'm trying to figure out where you're getting. What did you say? 195.
they're
So
they've
they're getting 17 votes from somewhere. I don't have.
Wild.
well they're calling Ohio.
I'm calling Ohio too.
Same.
Mm,
No, Maine's only 1%.
okay, how about let's put together
Oh, Texas.
Oklahoma.
Texas.
Well, Texas is 40 votes. So
What's the what do you win by, or what's
But
he
they
winning
called
by?
Texas. I didn't even see them call Texas. Did you?
yeah, but it's only I got 60% in.
Yeah, 60% in.
He's got a 10-point lead.
swing. Hell yeah, Texas. God, look at all that red on the map.
So my buddy just sent me a text message. He's like, "What about those white dudes for Harris?" What's your guys' opinion on that? Because that was so fucking cringy every single time I saw that shit.
Or just any dudes for Harris, first of all.
Yeah.
I don't want to discriminate any of those fucking losers. I mean, those people that are nice Americans who are voting their conscience. And
He was right the first time.
yeah,
I like how you get all redneck when you said that. You're right the first time.
That's how I talk.
yeah.
All right.
That's literally how he talks.
I'm just meeting you guys for the first time, so
I know you're doing terrible.
fuck off.
Yeah.
If you tune into this show, you probably wasted an hour of your life that you won't get back.
I think
Sorry.
we're
Sorry, not sorry.
we're probably rewinding back like an hour, but like is the comment you mentioned that like not any person outside of virtue signaling, I don't know that any one person could give you like, here's my top 3. These are the reasons why I feel she's the best candidate. And anybody can feel free to call me a racist if you really had to, but I would say the same
Racist.
thing. I'd say the same thing like when Obama ran, and it was a matter of like, well, we've never had a black man as a president, so
Right.
maybe we should give it a shot. And that's my feeling about Harris is like, well, we've never had a black-ish woman president. So
Indian, used to like
Indian.
man.
Blindian?
Indian black.
Indian black. She's
Blindian?
Jamaican, actually.
She's like a P.
All
Diddy
kinds
song.
of confused.
The P. Diddy song.
Do you guys ever watch Candace?
Oh,
She
yeah.
Candace Owen?
Yeah, she actually broke down like
You want to know something funny about Candace?
I have a heart on now.
Yeah.
Candace and I had an interaction on Instagram once,
yeah.
and she blasted me.
Oh, what she
Because
said.
it was when she was her and Kim Klasick were having a feud,
Mm-hmm.
and I responded back to one of her like Instagram posts, and I was like, "Hey, we need to stop this feud because we're being with Democrats and fighting internally." And she responded back to me in a DM. She's like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Damn.
I was
Wow.
like, "Oh shit!" I just got roasted by Candace Owens, and I got really hard for a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just got even harder.
I was like,
Whoa,
I was
no,
like-
not.
I was like, talk dirty to me, baby, you know. But no, yeah, it was my one interaction with Candace Owens, and I didn't know what to say back, so I said nothing. It's fucked up.
You
I mean,
did.
Yeah, because you totally would have got her to leave her husband and fucking have a baby. with
She
you.
could be here with us right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
No, actually,
Candace
she
could
could
be
not.
here right now.
She could be upstairs
Tulsi.
making pizzas
And macaroni
Right.
and cheese.
and macaroni
Imagine.
and cheese.
Right
not-
where a woman should be is fucking in the
Right up.
kitchen making fucking pizzas.
Oh, and you just got
not
demonetized.
running for president.
Oh wait, you weren't
That's-
monetized yet.
Oh.
No,
No,
it wasn't even
no.
monetized.
Okay.
YouTube, fuck you, take my money.
Yeah. Is he smoking?
Was
That's
he smoking
not
a
smoke.
pipe?
a doob.
Yeah, it's fucking louder as Crowder. It's a skit.
Oh yeah, that's why. I was gonna say, wait, hold on a second. They got me.
Smoking. He
Bad
is smoking.
ass.
We're gonna have to take a smoke break.
Well, they got me.
What do these guys do? They can fucking stream for 5 straight hours.
What are we doing?
Drugs. They do drugs.
They gotta
That's
do a lot
how.
of drugs.
Yeah.
A lot of drugs.
So
time to bring up the pod.
yeah, I think and I would
just
I
did
would
the weed.
love I would love to. I did. We like to do that here. I'd love to have a Kamala voter in here, other than somebody we already know. To like, yeah, here's my top 3. Like, here's 3 things I think she does very well, or here's 3 things I believe that she will do very well. and outline those for us, like anything from the job she has now or
And
any of the jobs
nobody can
she's
name
had.
anything. The first thing they go to is Trump's a fascist, Trump's a racist,
Right.
Trump hates women, they're going to take abortion rights, Project 2025.
Right.
They can't ever name anything she's done or she will do.
Yeah.
Because she's an empty pantsuit. That's all she is.
Yeah.
You didn't really hear from her in the past 3 years until like
because she wasn't going to be the nominee. Biden was
No.
going to be the nominee the entire time, and when he dropped out, they panicked.
He didn't got
They
he got
already-
pushed out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're right. They panicked at the end when he did so terrible in the debate. They kind of knew it was going to happen, though. They figured it, so they pushed him out there, embarrassed the fuck out of him.
yeah.
And then they essentially take away our ability to vote in a primary for who we want to actually run for the Democratic.
I will say
nominee.
this.
Because I think that, well, here I go back to Kennedy or Gabbard, either one of them.
yeah.
If they would have ran as the Democratic nominee, like they would have won in a primary with Kamala.
Well,
He would have been kicked out within the first 3 or
Murdered.
4 states,
Murdered.
destroyed,
It's just
Yeah.
and it would have been
She's-
between
she's
Gold-
never gotten
Tulsi
a
already,
vote.
yeah, Tulsi already knocked her out of
Yeah,
the
she knocked her
box.
out of the
Like,
Well, right, exactly.
Yeah.
She didn't even
Pulled
make it
up
to the
her-
first one.
When she talked about her what was it, that guy that was wrongfully accused and
Well, she
Kamala
just
blocked
shared.
it.
She
Yeah.
blocked her on a lot of things. One, that was she was withholding information to keep a guy in prison versus giving the opportunity to get out. 2, she was using like low end criminals, keeping their sentences in, keeping them in longer.
benefiting
So that she
private
could use
prisons
them
and,
to-
and
to-
labor and
Right, for cheap labor for the forest fire systems out there because they use
Yep.
prisoners for that system, for that. So
I
I
started
mean, she's
watching that
already
show, by
done
the
things
way.
that you would almost consider to be racist, oppressive. Like she's already done things like this as not even a president, as a fucking DA. The other aspect is she was hard on drugs. So for all these young people out there voting, this chick wanted to fucking ban drugs, was putting people in like hardcore prisons over drugs. Like it's not me just saying that shit. It's a fucking fact. Right. But nobody looks at that shit. And that's the problem.
Speaking of drugs, what do you think about legalization of drugs in the first place?
I think they should all be legal.
Is that like a general consensus thing amongst all of you guys?
I don't know. It's general consensus.
I would think like weed, yes.
hold on before we go into drugs. I just wanted to round out the whole Kamala thing.
Okay, so
If she had said at some point, had she initiated the 25th, like as a true leader should have, because everybody with eyes and ears knows that Biden doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Like
Right,
everybody
thing,
knows
right?
that, right? So if she had, just to even settle the argument, she should have implemented the 25th to
course.
just like, okay, we need to examine this. Like if you stop and think about that, like the law enforcement community knows the world right now. Like in a shooting, you're going to turn it over to the district attorney's office. You're going to fully investigate it. In some cases, you're going to arrest people involved and send them to court so the judge can figure it out, just from a liability perspective, right? So why doesn't that happen in the federal government? And if Kamala had actually come along and said, you know what, I'm a brilliant person who grew up in a fucking middle-class family, blah, 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 whatever. Like if I had half of a brain, I should be saying like, oh shit, yeah, there's something wrong with this guy. Like he can't even walk straight. He can't even answer questions. He can't speak. You know what? Yeah, we should probably put him through the process to determine if he's fit to hold office. If she had done that, I might have almost even voted for her.
Well, I don't know if I'd vote
whoa,
for her.
whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm-
Well, no,
yeah,
I'm not saying
serious.
I would vote for her, but I would absolutely say like, oh,
I
she
would have
might
some
be a
respect
sharp
for her.
tack.
Yeah, she might actually be fit to hold office in the job that
So
she's
The problem is though,
applying
she
for.
did so much other shit in the first 3
Yeah.
years
yeah.
that told you she's not a capable woman.
No, you mean
Yes.
she did no shit in the
Yeah.
first 3 years.
This obviously all of these things
Yeah, of
would have
course.
to culminate
But
into
I
this.
see what you're
But like,
saying. Like, you know, like at least she would have been honest. At least she
Yeah.
would have been
Well,
like
yeah.
legit, like
Yeah.
knowing that our country's in about 2-3 wars right now.
Yeah.
And at least
and
she
now
would have
she's
been like,
cozied up with the Cheneys.
oh my god, dude.
Fucking
That-
warmongers
like
from
that's
hell.
another thing. Who the fuck is the Democratic Party anymore? These people that are voting for her, like she fucking Cheney is gonna
Well,
get her into war. They
Yeah.
come on. Like, do
Yeah.
you not see the tea leaves? Like they're fucking bright red and in your face.
Well, let's take a
Ooh,
step. Let's take
that
a
was
step
good.
back. Like, I mean, the three of us are old enough to remember the Patriot Act, right?
Sure, yeah.
I was for the Patriot Act when it first came out because I was following the Republican line of I don't have anything to hide. I don't care if they listen to me. But who was railing against the Patriot Act back then? It was the Democrats.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
They were all talking about how the Patriot Act is in invading our privacy and everything else. And I was like, I don't have anything to hide. Fast forward to now, the parties have switched. Which side is saying, leave us the fuck alone? I want my freedoms, and which side is taking them?
Yeah.
So like, there's been a dynamic switch, and Cheney was part of that. Hey, let's take your freedom for the sake of the country, and the Democrats are saying let's not do that, and now it's completely switched. So we have to take a look. The Cheneys are warmongers.
Oh yeah.
Hands
Yeah,
down.
100%.
Bush is warmongers.
Yeah.
Well,
Trump has changed the Republican Party in ways that should have been changed, and some of us, including myself, were too naive to see back in the day.
Well, and I don't know that he's changed the entire Republican Party. There's still a lot of people in there that are not happy about him winning because they know it's going to take money out of their pockets when he starts reducing the conflicts overseas and he starts creating peace and he stops doing some of this other stuff.
Though.
What's that?
We need that though.
Well, we want that. Some of us want that.
Yeah.
Take a look at the
You know, like
billionaires.
it's funny because you see a lot of these 40 and 50 and 60-year-old people that are sitting there talking about like, you know, I want to vote for Kamala or whatever her name is. Like, your kids, some of you have grandkids.
Like
If you're in that age of 18 to 26, like, what do you not see the fact that she's literally pointing us down the road towards a war, and what does that mean for your kids in the future? Like, you could say like, oh well, they're not going to go in, they're not going to join the military. Like,
They're
I'm
gonna
not
have a
saying
choice.
well, I'm not saying that there's going to be a draft, but I'm like, what about their friends, their family members, the things that are going to take place? What happens when a war? Like when I went to Iraq in 2005, like I wasn't thinking about my family, but they sure were all thinking about me while I was over there, right? So like, what does that impact have? And you're right. You know, you can sit there and say, well, maybe Cheney's not the same person she was back then. The problem is that it's already out there. Like Kamala has already been involved in a White House that has seen 2 wars take place, be created, and involved us in one way or another so that we don't have the ability to walk away.
Well,
that'll be the saddest thing if Trump doesn't win. I would have loved to see what happened. I think he's going to leave NATO. That's what I think his secret plan is. When he said, I'm going to leave before I'm president elect, I think he's going to call Putin and be like, hey, look, when I'm the president, I'm leaving NATO. That's my ultimate goal. I want nothing more than to leave NATO. Make me happy.
I think he'll reform NATO. I think him being in there himself and the way he made them start to actually pay their portion. I don't think leaving NATO is necessarily the right call. I think reforming NATO would be the better call.
Why would you not leave NATO? What's the point of NATO? What was the original point of NATO?
Oh, it was to stop Russian aggression.
No, it was to protect from Germany. It was created after World War II. NATO hasn't had a purpose in over 60 years.
Well, now it's to protect against Russia.
But Russia was never a threat to NATO. Russia's never. In fact, Russia asked to be part of NATO.
They have, but I think Russia.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
threat.
But Russia is not a threat. Russia doesn't want anything to do with NATO. I don't think
they are a threat anymore. I think that, and if you did you watch the Putin interview with Tucker?
Yeah,
I did.
And first of all, I'm gonna get blasted for this right now. I have more respect for Vladimir Putin than I do for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, because I think that man is one of the most thought-provoking, well-spoken.
He's fucking sharp,
and he truly gives a fuck about his country. Because I don't feel any Democrat gives a fuck about their country right now. Because how can you be putting this shit forward and actually give a fuck about your country? He cares, and he talked about how he didn't want to be enemies of the U.S. He tried to have a gentleman's agreement with almost every other president we've had, and they don't have to be our enemy. And I think it was Ronald. I might have to fact check me this. I think Ronald Reagan or somebody else said that one of the worst things we can do is push Russia and China into each other's arms, and that's what we have successfully done under Joe Biden. Is we have pushed them.
Well,
into
it started since backing with Clinton. Clinton was the one who originally told him no to joining NATO. Right, because we created this idea that NATO's like, even you said, to protect us from Russia. Like, no. I mean, first of all, if Russia wanted to nuke us to fucking obliterate, they could.
Well, that's now, of course, technology has evolved, right?
Right.
Is that the Russians? That sound was up there, but yeah, I
Drop your
mean,
mac and cheese.
so obviously, I think that NATO today is very different than it was upon creation 50s 60s because the weaponry technology has evolved. So at one point in the Cold War, our entire plan was, well, here's the speed of our missiles and being able to ensure that we could articulate a response if we had missiles fired at us. But, the missile technology now we can launch, from Ohio and have it land anywhere else on the planet at supersonic speeds or hypersonic speeds. And
plus we can have like pilotless, aircrafts going out there as well. So
Yep.
Well, and we talked about it the last time. The problem with NATO is you got a bunch of little fucking hairy, tiny little people fucking starting big ass fucking fights with
that
people
we
that
have
would
to go
whoop their
help with.
ass. And then they do that because they know that fucking the U.S. has got their backs, and that's the problem with NATO in general. Is that we feed all this money, we put all this effort into supporting NATO. We give them troops, we give them ammo, we give them fucking nuclear weapons, we give them money. And we say, oh, everybody else pitches in their portion based off of their GDP, et cetera, et cetera. And they weren't doing that even until Trump fucking put his foot down. But even at that point, like the fact you've generated this cabal of countries that can basically, hey, what's up, puppy? Can basically do whatever they want, and the U.S. has to back them because of some.
thank you.
Thanks, love. Wait, they didn't move. Where was I? But it puts us in a situation where you either have to defend or you look like an idiot. Hold on a second.
pick the tray up. Pick the tray up.
All right, you get to grab the piece you looked. Oh.
Well, now a word from our sponsor.
DiGiorno. It's not delivery.
I mean, it's not our sponsor yet, but Oregon Spirit, we would love to have you as a
Look, there's your
sponsor,
mac and cheese, bud.
or literally any
He's going to for sure.
literally any bourbon sponsor. There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks, baby.
There's pepper. Pepper.
Thank you.
I'll have a little bit.
Will mac and cheese sponsor us too?
No, but your sister will.
Sponsored by Kraft Mac and Cheese. Not really. I don't want to get in trouble for
All
that.
right, go on.
All right. Well, let's see. Well, we have about a 9:45 Eastern time. So I think around that time, we'll start to see some more of the polls closing out in the West. That'll make 7 p.m. in the West, 6 p.m. Central. So we should start to see some more numbers coming in because the map hasn't really moved much here. Nothing's really changed. We're still
A little bit changed with I think North Carolina.
so Fox is calling North Carolina for Trump.
They called it.
59-39. So like a 20-point lead. I'm sorry, that's South Carolina. North Carolina. Yeah, sorry, South Carolina. North Carolina, he's got a 4-point, almost 5-point.
Yeah, look at Georgia. I'm kind of surprised they're not calling Georgia right now. I'm guessing it's because of where the votes are still got to come from.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got a 5 or 6 point swing.
So Fox has got him at 52. So he's got about a 5-point swing with,
Yeah, with
79% in. So they should call it for him at this point. Let's see what
I don't think they're going to. It's going to be based off of Hamilton County or whatever it's called.
yeah. And CNN's showing the same numbers.
What's that showing for Minnesota up there?
So Minnesota currently Trump's ahead in Minnesota, surprisingly.
What are they at 10% of the votes?
Well, it's funny is that they show 0% reported, but they have him up by 11 points. Going back
Yeah, I show
over.
1%. He's up 20 points, but it's a 10,000 to 7,000 vote.
Yeah. But those, let's see, in Minnesota, is Minnesota 2 hours behind us?
One.
It's 1 hour behind us.
Mhm.
So the polls are closed out there,
It's
but
crazy when you look at the points, though, and you look at Virginia, it's almost 2 points, but it's literally only 50,000 votes. Like 50,000 votes.
How's Pennsylvania looking?
Still blue.
yeah, it hasn't moved much.
Still like that.
Yeah.
Vote in.
Yep.
But I mean, everybody knew Pennsylvania was going to be a problem. I'm a little concerned that Michigan and Wisconsin are both facing blue right now, but they don't even have half the votes in either. So I mean, it's really early. Really, we're not going to get any answers until about 10:30.
Well, it's only 40 minutes from now.
Only 40 more minutes.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, let's look back at to last year though.
Bless you.
Bless
Goodness.
you.
Thank you. Let's look back to last year for a second though.
You mean last
I went to-
election?
Last election. I went to bed thinking that was over.
Surprise.
Did anybody else feel the same way? I felt like in Michigan, I'd have to look at the numbers and I'd be interested to pull them up, but I feel like 80% of the vote was in, and he had like a 100,000 vote lead or something like that.
Real quick, didn't it?
Well, that was when they were saying that he brought in, 300,000 votes came in at like the middle of the night, and like 90% were for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And then they showed all his people literally pulling up. That was something else.
Yeah, there were some anomalies there. They had trying to put it
some anomalies.
correctly, like in Wayne County, biggest blue county and
course.
biggest population.
70-30 could have seen that.
Yeah. And there was also problems with poll workers and what did they call the auditors there? Just the observers, the count watchers. Forget what they call those people.
Election stealers.
Yeah, that's the correct title for them.
This live stream is sponsored by Costco Pizza and Macaroni and Cheese.
Costco pizza is actually pretty damn good.
Agreed.
It's also some fried chicken from Bueller's, which is what I had.
Oh yeah, we should have brought some of that down here.
Whatever Apollo didn't eat.
You didn't get any of the fried chicken.
And I put it on top of the air fryer. Thought about that.
When I first heard him go after the bag of chips, though, that's what I thought he got.
So here's
What's
this
Fox showing right now?
Well, this is a fun one here. Right now, CNN is showing New Mexico for Trump, which would be a change.
First?
Yeah, but they've got 20% of their vote in, and he's up by looks like 2 points there. That'd be interesting.
I don't know how you can live in a border state and not vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Dean still rocking in the chat. I can see you there,
Hell yeah.
my guy. We appreciate it. We're taking a lunch break here as we stuff our faces full of mac and cheese and pizza, but we're still here for your entertainment.
And my buddy said he logged in and commented too. So
Yeah, Warrior USA.
yeah,
Appreciate the
shouts out
comment.
to Warrior USA.
I shared it. He says he knows you.
Huge fan.
What are you pulling up right now?
Oh, I'm just dicking around here. Let's go back.
We got 188 Trump. Who'd they call?
Well,
Wyoming. Was Wyoming just called?
yeah, Fox has had Wyoming.
Have they for a minute?
Yeah.
I mean, Wyoming's going to be red. You know what's crazy is that literally the only reason that the election is even competitive is because of like 7 major cities. Like if you go back and you look at a county by county basis on who votes for who, like 96% of the counties across the country vote for a Democrat or for Republican.
Shit, I can drive down the road and tell you that.
Right. Although in Medina this year, like I'm disappointed in the amount of Kamala signs. In fact, they were outside the election hall today and there was no Trump signs. I was like, oh, that's not good.
No area was Trump.
I'm sure.
Except for one guy. He had to
Uh-oh.
blow up one of them blow up things of Trump in a diaper with a pacifier on it. I was like, come on, man. Like, just join our side. Like,
What are you doing?
He's a white dude for Kamala.
You should have asked him to come on the podcast.
I don't know who he is, but he lives in the wrong spot. Like, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
I mean, even going out like towards like Columbia Station in Wellington, it's just nothing but Trump. So
Let's see. Where's he at with the popular vote? I didn't even look at that for a minute. Still a 52-46 swing. But once again, oh, New York started coming. I didn't see that. Yeah, New York's already got 45% of their votes in. Kamala's got a pretty strong lead over there.
Yeah, almost 30 points.
Uh-huh. What was
PA, the margin in PA has gotten a little tighter. The 39% of the vote in, and she's got like a 1.3.
whoa.
So getting very close. I'm telling you, that's going to be the determining state. That's still my prediction.
Yeah, I don't think PA is gonna come in until like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
If we can get them to 80% tonight, that'd be a fucking amazing.
Now, do you think our mail-in votes have actually cannibalized our in-person voting? Or do you think it's made up by the fact that we've had so many new Republicans added to the electorate? Well, I think that's the major question we got to ask ourselves right now.
The numbers are definitely higher. The messaging on Republican side last year was that mail-in voting is terrible. It's subject to fraud, blah, blah, blah. Whereas this year it's like, okay, let's get out and vote early. It was the complete opposite of that. So I think that's going to play very well for them this year.
So I looked at early voting. I was trying to pull a report up earlier. I was telling you about almost 1 million less ballots were requested this year, but still Republicans, registered Republicans, I should say, their numbers increased by 10,000 total votes over 2020. Democrats went down by almost 1 million votes.
That's
as far
big.
as like 1 million less mail-in ballots were sent. Now, what does that mean? Maybe they just aren't afraid of COVID anymore.
They didn't count the dead people this time.
I like to think of it as that they chose that they just didn't want to vote this year. I think that there's going to be a lot less people that vote in this election than the 2020 election.
So Georgia has got 79% and Trump's got a 4.8 point lead there. So Georgia's looking really good. North Carolina's got 65% in. Trump's got a almost 6 point advantage there.
How many votes? What's the difference in the votes in Georgia, though? I know it's like you said it's about 4.5 point swing, but what is that, like 100,000 votes?
That's 226,000 vote swing.
Wow,
Pretty big.
that's big.
What do you think how much do you think the hurricane had an effect on the voting in North Carolina?
Well, so we talked on another podcast. I've got a buddy who's a fireman down there, and they're getting reporting that there are thousands of people that are still missing down there. So definitely having an impact. Hurricanes are apolitical, so they're not gonna.
The responses aren't apolitical though.
Yeah,
I mean, I might be roughly supposed to say that, but like, I feel that like they didn't make the necessary moves, and I almost feel like it was planned not to make those moves, because if you looked at what happened after Katrina and the amount of National Guard troops that were called in to respond to Katrina, and yeah, George Bush fucked up in handling that, blah blah blah, but there were, I think it was over 100,000 National Guard troops that got called into Katrina, and we had a couple thousand called in for North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and all that. So I think that I don't want to say, maybe it's not on purpose, maybe it's just oversight and poor management, but I think that those types of things actually weigh on people's hearts and minds when they're making their decisions.
Yeah, it's hard to say one way or the other. The problem is everybody's just people in their lives that we're talking about.
It was all cloud seeding.
Yeah, right. Do I think that like the response should be way better? Yeah. Do I think much more money should be invested into that infrastructure down there to like rebuild them faster? Absolutely.
But no, we gave $1 billion to illegals. That's why.
But the problem is that every dollar that's budgeted, that every bill that's passed is typically passed based off of a bipartisan effort. So you can't say that like Trump being in office would necessarily change the way that response turned out. I'd like to think so.
I think it can be because of the amount of money that was spent. Think about like I said, how many billions of dollars were spent on and I'm not going to call them illegals anymore. I'm going to call them invaders, but how much was spent on them from the FEMA budget, but that could have been used for the people in North Carolina, the actual citizens that deserve it. So I think that, to say that, I think that we need to take a look at that as well.
I warn you to be cautious, just because some of those things that you hear is clickbait, like the amount of money that was spent or X amount of money that was spent. Yes, money was probably spent on illegal immigrants. It definitely offered them housing, definitely offered them some other things. But that's not why FEMA didn't have the money. That's not necessarily why they didn't get the help down there. I mean, that's a shit show down there right now, even still. I think it was you was telling me there's still places that are covered by 30 feet of mud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Literally thousands of people that they are just classified as missing right now. They're not dead. They can't.
Despite all the resources in the world, that's just not something that you're going to be able to go in and fix.
Well, I think putting more troops in the ground, pulling National Guard, because there were states that responded from all over the country that responded to Katrina, and that aren't responding and aren't being pulled in for North Carolina.
Yeah, but states from all over sent people for like electric lines and things like that. I know David's got something to say, but
no, I was going to say if you'd switch that back to our video feed here, because I was going to look up a couple things. Thank you. I didn't want to, switch over to Google and then, here's David's dick pics again.
But look, do I think they could handle our own country's problems? Yeah. But here's the thing. Everybody's talking about FEMA in North Carolina. Nobody's talking about Maui, and that was over 2 years ago.
100%. Well,
what's your
Oprah.
thoughts on with Oprah and The Rock, asking for donations, but they're the ones with all that money.
Well, I don't think
I'm not saying that.
I don't think any billionaire should be responsible for everything.
No.
A millionaire or whatever the case might be. But if any of them that are willing to put together anything in order to support something, whether it's donations or ask for donations or invest their own money or not invest their own money, but set up other things and use their name and etc. As long as the people get help, that's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like, I don't expect The Rock or Oprah, even though Oprah's a fucking billionaire, to give $10 million even. Like, hey, you donated, you put your name on it. Other people should join in too. I mean, they're not Elon Musk, who's donating hundreds of millions like he is,
right,
to save our democracy, the republic. But I don't expect them to do all of the hard work. You know what I mean? So, we should be donating, and that's one of the great things about America on a whole is we do try to take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and here's the thing too.
Small or big,
we do donate. I pay fucking taxes on every dollar I make. I pay taxes every time I buy something. I pay taxes for the house that I live in, for the property I own, and I still got to pay my local fucking city money to ask them to allow me to build a building on my own fucking property that I pay for, that I own, that I pay taxes on. So
And then when you die, your kids
I
have to pay
100%
taxes
do
on
my
the money you
fucking
give
part.
them.
100% do my part.
So just some quick stats. Welcome to our podcast, Brian. I love stats, but so Katrina was nearly 2,000 people dead, 160 billion worth of property damage.
Okay.
The current death toll for Helene is, I think, almost 250 ish, with about $6 billion in property damage. So, order of magnitude response to all of that and everything. I think that Maui's an interesting one, and maybe just a quick mental note, or not mental note, quick note for everybody out there. Like politics, one of my favorite subjects out there, but here's a little unsolicited advice for everybody out there listening. Number one, don't ever lose friends over politics or who you vote for, or what your maybe you could lose some friends over what your virtues are. But here's one thing that I would point out, since we're talking politics and natural disasters. I have certainly decided to purge certain friends out there over, their feelings about politics or the rhetoric or whatever. And I just kind of consider maybe they just weren't friends in the first place.
100%.
We have Kamala voters in our circle of friends, and, we can shit talk, and then we can hug and say, see you later, and do it all over again the next day, right? We've got that respect for each other. You absolutely should. But here's the thing I'd point out, Matt, I was thinking about that this morning, and thinking about Maui in particular. Wildfires hit there, and politicians didn't go and really help and do much of anything. Like, right, some people got $700 checks and whatever, and
Same with East Palestine.
right. So, but I'll tell you who did help. Friends and neighbors came over. Like, literally, friends and neighbors saved each other's lives, and then people that lost their homes, their friends and neighbors. These people are now living with their friends and neighbors, especially like Lahaina. I don't know if you guys have ever been, but this is a very small town. So, and very congested, and multi-generations living under the same roof and all of that. So you had thousands of people immediately displaced. And it's funny, as I see people like come to blows over voting for wealthy elites who will never show up ever and help. But the person you're fighting and arguing with could very well be the
100%.
person that comes and brings you food, like or water, because you have neither of those things, right? So,
well, and that's the problem with our country right now, is it becomes so divisive that you can't be friends with that person anymore.
Right.
And listen, like, I may question your morality based on who you vote for.
I question the intelligence more.
I may question your
But I have
intelligence,
lots of dumb friends, so it's okay.
but
Yeah.
I'm not going to question your value as an American, and the fact that my faith teaches me that I should step out and take care of and love and respect you, even though I have differences with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, the problem is that it seems to be all but gone in a lot of sectors in this country, and that's something we need to get back. And I think that the biggest problem with that is what our media has done to us, and by demonizing everybody, and, oh, you vote for Trump, you must be a fucking Nazi, or you voting for Harris, you must be a communist. And I fall prey to that myself sometimes. If you look at my Facebook, sometimes I do. But like, we all need to cut back on that rhetoric a little bit and realize that, like you said, shit happens. I need to be there for you, and you need to be there for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and frankly, the United States just isn't that type of country anymore. We haven't been since really September 11th, in my opinion. It's funny, you travel the world and you see different countries, and, like, especially in Europe, most of those communities, much more elderly people, not handicap friendly, not obese people, don't work until their 70s and 80s. but the community takes care of the elderly, right? So, you know, your neighbor's 75 years old, like it's common decency over there to offer them, you know, do you need me to grab anything while I'm out at the store? Do you need me to pick anything up for you? Do you need some help around the house? Like that's just like the way of life over there. And part of the reason that there's so many, what do they call them, blue zones, I believe, when the average age is over 100 years old.
Mhm.
And part of that is because of the community environment. Like, yeah, you can't get a wheelchair. You need a wheelchair to walk around, but instead of a wheelchair, how about I just walk with you? So it's just a different type of place over there versus over here. We've always been one where you're based on your own, you know, what you do, but we've stopped caring so much about everybody else.
Yeah,
Let's do what the media would do. Will, we would not interrupt you if this wasn't important.
Oh, what do you
but
got?
if you want
What
to
do you
go
got?
to the video,
Oh, look at Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is now in the red
Oh
column.
shit!
Yep, Trump with a man over. He's got like a 1.2. Oh, it just changed again. He's got a 0.8 lead there with
Well, look at
almost
look
half
at Minnesota,
of it in.
Wisconsin too.
Yep, we got
No,
Wisconsin's only got 37, and Minnesota's only got 2% in. So that's probably
God, I feel like 2020 all over again right now. I feel like I'm gonna go to sleep and wake up and we lost.
I don't think it's like that, but
I really hope it's not.
we'll see. Be interested to see. Whoa, what is that map? Is that our map right now?
yeah. This is 100
So,
100 points to go.
so say Trump wins the popular vote and the Electoral College. How long is it going to take, and how long are the Democrats?
That's happened in time.
How much shit are the
Well, for
Democrats going to talk
Republican.
about us rigging the election?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to say it too? Like,
Well, I mean, they said it in 2016 because he lost the popular but won the electoral, you know, as if that was the first time it had ever happened.
Well, they just
like-
said it recently too, though, that they weren't going to certify the election. I believe is what I heard today.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll certify it for him.
Yeah.
well, if we
got
take
this.
both, if we take both the Senate and Congress, then they can't not certify it.
Well, the vice president actually certified the election. If I'm not mistaken. That was the whole thing last year.
Well, yeah, it would be Kamala, ironically, when all is
Yeah.
said and done. Like she
Yeah.
will be in the
Interesting how that works out. There's
Right.
no conflict of interest there.
right. Yeah.
You have to certify that you got your ass hit.
Yep. That's a tough one. Well, that was Al Gore during during the Bush and Gore race. Like
Whatever happened to Al Gore?
He's
Global
out
warming.
making fake movies about global warming.
yeah. He's down here.
in his private jet.
He's down here living with the Amish now. He's turned the page.
Oh, turn the page.
Oh, well, here's also another one that's noteworthy is Arizona is reporting for Trump 35% in, and well, that's weird. It actually says that it's within about 50 votes difference with 35% of the votes in, but yeah, Trump's got about a 50 vote lead there right now.
It's so interesting to watch some of this. Or like if you look at New Mexico, I don't know what it shows for you, but I got nearly an 8% fucking lead for Trump. I mean, that's only a quarter of the votes in, but the fact that he has any kind of lead at all
Yeah.
in New Mexico is like, what?
Yeah.
That PA one is huge.
Yeah.
I think if he wins Nevada, that'll be the first time a Republican's taken Nevada since 2004. Is that accurate? I think Bush was the last one who took Nevada when he got reelected.
Believe that's correct.
What are we looking at right here?
Just checking to see if Fox is reporting anything different.
Volume. I don't remember what it is.
They're talking about North Carolina, Wake County. Oh, they're showing the difference between 2020 and 2024.
Yeah. We need to get CNN up on our screen.
That's that's this map that I'm looking at here right now. This is CNN that's showing
another state.
172 for Trump, 81 for Kamala.
Oh, Google's showing on 198.
Hmm.
109.
What state is going to be the one that there's the most controversy about at the end of this? Or what states?
Depends on who wins. I mean, PA is gonna catch so much scrutiny no matter what.
I think PA is still. I mean, there's a total of 7 swing states. It's Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. And in my mind, all day long, Pennsylvania decides it.
I agree with you.
Unless Virginia loses.
Yeah, well, right now that's pretty narrow.
I think it's
Trump's got Trump's got like a 4,500 vote advantage with 68. So that Virginia's going to be very close. That's going to go down to the wire.
Which is super interesting.
I wish they would call. Gotta get better at the fucking in talk. I wouldn't mind putting that up on the stream.
Who's that? The Crowder?
The louder Crowder. Yeah. I mean, I think I can put it up. I just don't know how to.
Are you allowed to put it up though with
I
like
don't know.
copyright shit?
I don't know.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. I mean, we have like 3 voters or 3 listeners. I think we've had up to 20 actually at one point. Whatever those sucks were.
Mm.
Not our friends. Where the fuck did they all show up tonight?
Yeah, no kidding.
I was gonna call Andrew and see what he had to say.
No, let's call him up after Kamala loses.
Which one is Andrew?
The only black guy we had.
Okay.
We got Jared too, but
He hasn't been on the pod.
I know.
Someday. We'll get him here.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys popped my podcast cherry tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
As we do.
It felt good.
Good. Very satisfying.
How you guys doing so far, huh?
How are we looking at the Senate races in Ohio? How's that looking? And in
that
Texas.
I don't have yet. I don't believe, but let's see if we can.
Because I'm interested to see, because that's also important as hell. You know that.
Rick Scott, Arizona. What? I said Ohio. Oh, here we go.
Bernie Moreno is up by 6 points right now.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
That's big.
Yeah, that I mean, if if we get him, we surely have got the Senate
Yeah.
at that point. If
As long as
he
Ted
wins,
Cruz too keep the seat.
yeah.
Who's gonna beat Ted? Who's running against Ted Cruz?
I can't remember his name.
We'll pull it up here right now.
That was supposedly there was super close election. They spent a ton of money on that to try to beat Ted
Did
Cruz.
Arizona flip blue? Yeah, it did.
Yep.
Like
This is for. I think that's for Senate
Okay.
Oh,
against
okay.
up against Carrie Lake.
Yeah, that scared me.
How's she doing?
She's down 8 points.
No, Kamala's got a 0.8 lead, 48% reporting, a 1 point lead. New Mexico went blue too.
So Cruz is currently up. Oh, looks like 9 points.
Oh, that's good. So, how many Supreme Court appointments do you think Trump will get this next term?
All of them.
You think so?
No, just kidding.
think
No,
it-
I don't think. I think Clarence Thomas is the only one who's probably getting close to retirement age. Like I
Yeah.
think he's the oldest on the bench.
And he's probably still got a good solid 4+ years.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes the the Ruth route, he'll stay in there until he's 114.
Yeah. Fuck that.
I mean, could argue it's the most powerful position.
In the world.
So, if you're Trump, what do you do in your first 100 days?
Leave NATO, stop
Fire
war.
everybody.
Invest in Guys Night podcast.
Definitely. Right after I leave NATO, I'm going to visit the Guys Night podcast. And then I'm going to drill, baby, drill. And then I'm going to reduce taxes on OT and tips.
You know what I felt where he missed the ball and like bring in voters another tax idea.
Yeah, you could have eliminated income tax.
Well,
altogether.
yeah,
I'd be
that
cool
of
with
course.
I'd have
But
been cool with that.
in this one, you'll like this one. Allow you to write off your child support payments,
What are you writing them off against, though?
your taxes at the end of the year.
Yeah, but
Like
it's like cash money. It comes out after taxes.
it doesn't matter. Like I'm paying money. I can't claim my kid. My baby mama claims my kid, so I should be able to
yeah.
write off my taxes that I pay for my kid.
Yeah.
Think about how many single dads that pay child support like they're supposed to. That would have been game changer.
I mean, it would be improvement, but it wouldn't be that big of not as big a game changer as no fucking income tax
Well, of
whatsoever.
We talked about that too, by increasing tariffs and eventually getting rid of the income tax.
That'll never happen.
It won't happen.
Because you wouldn't be able to increase tariffs enough. People would just stop fucking.
So Virginia has flipped over to Kamala by a 0.1%
Damn
margin.
you, Virginia.
69%
I ain't
in.
going there no more.
Ain't never been there, ain't never gonna be there.
Just looking at I'm just picturing Kamala just sitting in her room by herself.
Fingering the bean.
Yeah, just flicking the bean. Just fucking
Look in the bean.
sitting there.
She's about to unburden what has been done.
Oh, fuck. It's a fucking ridiculous thing.
By the way, if I was her husband, I would 100% cheated too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
cackle would have
Same.
got to me, man. I would be like, just don't laugh.
She's gonna be the most powerful person in the country if she wins. Like that's
She's going to be the
disgusting.
most unemployed person in January.
Let's pray. Let's keep fucking praying. In Trump we trust. Where's North Carolina at for you? I got them at 72%. Oh, they're gonna call that one soon.
Yeah.
6% lead.
Yeah.
We'll probably call it once at 75%.
66% for Virginia. I still showed Trump with a half point lead.
Mm,
I guess
Yeah.
it really depends on who you're watching. You know what I mean?
What percentage do you have in?
CNN has Kamala up by literally 0.1
With what percent in?
with 69% in.
So this last boost.
And but Fox has him with a narrow lead the other way.
Trump 1.5 point lead in PA.
Let's hope it keeps growing.
Man,
Start rubbing it.
don't that me.
Needs to
Well,
get
I've
pushed
got
to-
I've got him at a 2.2 lead there with 53% in.
Really?
Yeah. But PA was the one that changed drastically as the
Yeah.
night went on last election. So
Well, hopefully
we got to
they
be
fix that problem.
cautious.
How about Wisconsin? A fucking neck and neck battle.
Yeah. Yeah, that one keeps flip-flopping.
Iowa. I don't know why I'm looking at Iowa.
Yeah.
Let's call that now. Georgia's at 82% with a 4.5 point lead.
Yeah, I think we got that one in the
Call
bag.
Georgia here soon. Crowder, what do you
I'm
think?
surprised they haven't called Ohio yet.
What's that?
So I'm surprised they haven't called Ohio yet.
Oh, they did. They called Ohio
Oh,
a
they
long
did?
time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 77% in. He's got a 13 point lead.
Um,
Can you see? Do you have the map up for last year?
Uh,
I'm just curious where
let me
we
get it.
stand on some of these things from last year.
let me get it. So,
It's the Guys Night Podcast.
sing it.
Yeah, sing our theme song, Will.
I like it. I came up with one tonight. Here, let's hear it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good. Are you singing it?
Yeah.
I recorded
He's
it
sitting
in
on
the
the toilet.
fucking.
Like,
It's like,
boy, just want to have
Are you
fun.
singing?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah, dude. Hold on a second.
You could probably have Derek do the music for it.
I already
Is it
did
going to be like an
everything.
80s theme?
I already did everything, guys.
His little porn
I
music
just
in the
did this today.
background.
It took me.
It's like bounce.
I mean, I've been writing it for a while, but I just kind of like.
He's just spitting in the studio.
You got the
It's gonna be a
if you
country
want to
song.
put the 2020 map up. Closer.
Crowder likes it.
He's a fan.
That's a Billboard Top 100 hit right there, man.
Hey, I know
I don't know how you write this stuff, man.
a little bit, just a little bit of AI and a whole lot of fucking typing.
And the autism.
See how I managed to put ice in my glass without throwing it on the fucking floor?
Yeah,
Learning every
like
day,
it's super
man.
nice. Where you going, Lester? Oh, well, take some of the shit up there with you. They're high speed.
He's gonna
you just
drop it.
fucking come down here and eat mac and cheese that my wife cooks for
I
you.
didn't ask for this, but
You did ask
You did.
for it, actually.
you
Yeah, and I said we don't need it. You said, well, actually,
ate most of it.
yeah, I didn't want it to go to waste. She just had to bring it back up.
Thanks. Thanks, sweetheart.
Plate. Let's get pizza. T-shirt.
You make a good waitress.
Sí, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
You got the map. If you want to switch it, these are the 2020 numbers
I
there.
got it pulled up.
Yep.
All right, so what do we show? Let's look at the Virginia.
So Virginia, 13 points, went blue. And then and where we're at right now is
it doesn't give you the points that how many she won or he won by.
I don't know. Let's look that up and see if it will tell us. I'm curious. Oh no, this is the interactive map. But
Well, her lead is
that was his lead
okay
in 2020.
It was
or their lead.
because it dropped from Biden or from Clinton to Biden, so it's probably going to drop even more now if she does take Virginia, which she probably will.
Oh, I want her to lose Virginia so bad.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
I want a sweep of the East Coast. Well, I mean, other than up north, that will count.
It's still pretty close.
Yeah, we're not gonna really know anything. God, it's almost 10:30. I really thought we'd have some better fucking answers.
I
Need to get
think
to that 80%. Where's Georgia at now? It's gotta be fucking almost calling that thing.
85%.
God damn.
That one's in the bank. I hate to say that, but I think that one's in the bank. It's almost a
I
4-point lead.
I can't see how. God, 198. If I'm Trump, I'm sitting there like fucking 72 votes. Like I need 72 votes. I got
Hold on a second.
North Carolina. That's 16.
Arizona and New Mexico are both neck and neck. I mean, Arizona's now got half their voting in, but those keep flipping back and forth, blue and red.
So if you get, well, Nevada's not even reporting yet.
No.
But if you got Arizona, that's 11. Georgia is I'm at 87% in. He's got a fucking 18-point lead. Oh, that's South Carolina. Yeah. Still 86% in with a fucking 2-point lead, 3-point lead.
Yeah.
But all right, so Georgia 16, North Carolina 16, so it's 32 plus the 11 in Arizona. That puts you at 43. That puts you at 244. No, 43. 241.
And there's that math.
That puts you at 241. Pennsylvania is what, 19?
Yep.
So
Yep,
you still
19
gotta win
votes.
one more state. Oh, we
Yep.
still got fucking Kansas.
Oh,
You got
Kansas.
Idaho.
I don't think Kansas has been called.
You got Alaska.
so Wisconsin is neck and neck as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
48% in, and they're Trump's barely
I got
ahead.
'em 49. I got them up a point.
Yeah.
819 to 806. Is that about where you're at?
Yeah, it's like about looks like about 5,000 vote difference.
That's crazy. It's just fucking mind-boggling when you're talking about an election. It's almost like they fuck with you, and then it's all like just make believe.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
like you're talking about a president of the fucking United States. How many hundreds of millions of people live here? And we literally decide the fucking thing over like a total of 100,000 votes. Like that's just fucking incredible.
Seems so unreal.
It is.
sometimes.
It's like a fucking video game. It's fucking insane. Virginia's going bluer. And she still doesn't even have a half-point lead. 16,000 votes. 70% in. Oh, PA.
I hope Kamala calls and says to somebody, "Hey, find those votes for me."
What's going on back there?
God, I wish I could compare these towards last month or last year.
Were you watching any of those like Rasmussen polls or election time where they actually did this and they reviewed them?
No, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I caught a little bit of the polls through some various shows that I watched, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time.
Okay.
They're just the problem with the polls is like I don't answer the phone call. I haven't answered
No.
one poll call.
Well,
You know, I never got like any like text messages or
You never got anything?
actually I got some, never mind.
I was gonna say
take that back.
Sherrod Brown and fucking what's his name blew me up like
Yeah.
5 to 10 times a day some days.
Just
My
fucking
phone rang
blocked
nonstop.
everything.
Well, once I donated the Trump campaign, my fucking emails and text messages blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like if you look right now on my phone, I have 82 text messages that are left unread. I guarantee 80 of them are from Trump
Oh yeah.
in Vance.
hmm
And they're like, "Are you there? Do you have your phone on silent?" That
Why?
literally is one of the openings. I'm like, "No, I already gave you money."
Well,
I
that's
see
like
it.
my brother and I talked. Like, I just need to early vote so the fucking calls will stop because they come off the registry, but I never did. And yeah, calls nonstop, 4 to 6 phone calls a day at the minimum. Very frustrating. All right, let's see. Any change? Dave's got a different map, which makes it more interesting. North Carolina, 75%. Oh shit, that's gonna fucking 75% of the vote in, 88% of the vote in Georgia. How are they not calling this yet? Three-point swing. You can literally see the votes come in as I'm hovering over the state. Virginia 68%. She's still got a 0.4% lead. I mean, I don't count Virginia. I don't think it's going to come through, but if it did, that'd be great. The fact that Trump's now got a 3-point lead in Pennsylvania is nice.
That's good.
Michigan's still only reporting 22%. I don't like that they're only reporting 22%. That's the fucking crazy shit that happened last year.
I gotta piss. That's the rest of the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Close this laptop, or is that a dark screen?
Yeah, it's dark screen.
All right, let's end the stream for a minute. Need a break.